This video is a reflection on one of the hardest but best years of my life. That's 2025. And this seemed like the best time to do it for a few reasons. Number one, I'm in Playa del Carmen in Mexico. It's the 31st of December, 2025. I've just been playing beach volleyball. You can probably see some people playing. I joined a club here, which is something I've been wanting to do for ages. I'm so bad at beach volleyball. And finally, me and Chika, we came here for 3.5 months. And I found this club, and now I'm playing 3 times a week, and I'm finally getting better, and it's so much fun. But actually, one of the most special things is Playa del Carmen is opposite Cozumel. And I don't know if you can see on this video, probably not with the exposure, but Cozumel is an island that's just over there. And that was one of my favorite ports when I was working for Royal Caribbean. And we used to go there super, super often. It was one of the best places, the most beautiful water. And me and Chika loved it. And now, with no planning, we're now staying here for 3.5 months, and every day I come here in the morning to play beach volleyball, and suddenly I can see Cozumel, a reminder of, my old life. And also, like, some friends are still, like, over there. But, like, I'm here, my life has completely changed. So it's just a really interesting thing. And so I feel like that, in a way, is quite a nice full circle moment. And it's kind of beautiful when life does that. And that shines a bit of a light on why this year has been so difficult, but also amazing. Chika and I, we've been traveling the entire year, which is obviously super fun and special and so many insane memories. But at the same time, it's been difficult because even at more than 1.5 years later, after actually quitting our jobs with Royal Caribbean, we're still kind of lost. Like, we've not figured things out as much as we would have hoped. We've made loads of progress, but I'll be honest, it's still been so difficult. After stopping with Royal Caribbean, took a big mindset shift and realized that, okay, I need to probably go into the world of business. I need to take this seriously. I need to prove myself, do all these things. And I had goals and visions and stuff, but nothing really materialized. It was unrealistic. I wasn't laying the foundations. And so it's taken so much time to get to where we are now. And as I say, it's kind of scary to think that we're still miles away from where we need to be. But I guess this is just to say that that's kind of the point, to some degree. Like, that's just kind of the way it is. And one thing Chika said to me yesterday, she said, we're not where we wanted or expected to be, but we've been laying the foundations. If we'd have rushed into something really successful, we probably would have just thrown it all away or made loads of mistakes. And she said that we've been laying the foundations, and now we're also doing things that we actually really care about. I've got the podcast IP on Sport, we've got mine and Chika's traveling channel, food is amazing, and now developing my own voice for what I really want to talk about. And actually, 1 year ago, that was kind of unimaginable. So even though we've not had some of the, let's say, business success I've liked, actually what we have had has been success has been huge. So it's a really funny one. I do believe now we're in a different place going into 2026. I do believe that. And I feel like we know what we need to do. But speaking a bit more on why it's been so hard, obviously, I think just identity loss is such a tough one. That's just been something I've just never expected I'd feel so much, from being an athlete to a performer and then to what, a kind of failing entrepreneur. That's my new identity, right? Which is pretty funny and amazingly challenging. But I just do think, now going into 2026 in this incredibly beautiful place. Like, just look at this. Going into 2026 here with Chika, with new skills, new goals, new plans, like all this stuff, I do finally feel like I'm in a completely different place. And even though things haven't gone to plan, I look back over there at the cruise ships and think about my old life. And I think about it with very fond memories. Very fond. But the idea of going back there is pretty scary. So even though it hasn't got to plan, I'm so glad we've done what we've done. And I'm so glad we're working on what we are working on. I feel like we're both finding our feet and offering like real value to people in what we're trying to do. And so I think probably that's also then my message, is that just good things take time. Good things take time. And so to spend the time to figure out what good or important does mean to you is massive. And then just keep going. Nothing fancy, just keep going. And like, success will come, but it won't come overnight, obviously. But yeah, so I think I'm super excited for the new year. We've already done loads of reflecting and journaling and all this stuff, and as I say, in a stronger place than ever. And I can't wait for next year. But as I say, one of the really silly things I've done this year is just kind of stress myself for no reason, because things weren't going to plan, because I lost my identity, because I didn't quite know what we were doing, or getting success in the way that I wanted to, or I had it originally imagined. I thought like, well, maybe this year's a failure, and what are we doing? And, the money's not consistent yet, and like, this thing didn't work out, so what would I do now? And like, we were kind of planning to rely on this, like, now what? And like, so many things failed. Like, oh my God, this year, so many things failed. Like different business ideas, lost money, 2 or 3 different jobs thought I was going to get, and then they fell through at the last minute, things changed. Like, everything was so, like, an unbelievable amount of setback. Unbelievable amount. But then I think also now, where we are now, it kind of feels like, well, was that all for a reason anyway? Because, you needed to lay those foundations. But as I say, because of those things, even though I had one of the best years of my life in 2025, like best years of my life, by far, I still just like stressed my way through the entire thing because of these thoughts in my mind. So, I mean, it's not to say that I didn't enjoy it, because I did. And, we started the year in Thailand, Vietnam, Southeast Asia, Japan, and then went to Singapore, France, Switzerland, the UK, Sicily, Italy. We cruised to America, now in Mexico. Like, I look back at the memories and they're just like, what? Like, we did all that? But in the back of my mind, like the entire thing, there was this like, well, yeah, but who are you? What are you doing? This is a waste of time. You're going to fail at this. Like my brain telling me all those things. And I know that I'm going to look back on 2025 like super happy. And I am looking back on it now, but I think, let's say in 5 years when like everything has kind of worked itself out, I think it's going to be so easy to look back and think 2025 was one of the best years of my life. And so I'm super pumped for 2026 because I think the foundation is there. But also something that's really important to me is, no matter what happens, just to make sure like I'm just enjoying it and not giving myself unnecessary stress and doubt and worry and all that stuff. Because ultimately, like this, this is all we have, to enjoy it. And I have to say, I also feel very lucky to just be here right now on New Year's Day. So yeah, I guess that's the message. Mostly a reflection on my side, but for just really, it's a cliche thing to say, but really enjoy the moment you're in, because it really is all there is. But I guess when you've got moments like this, it's not too hard to enjoy, right? So yeah, I will leave that video here. It's a Happy New Year. And yeah, want to start making more of these for 2026. Very simple. I'm not overly scripting these. I just want to be more honest and open and vulnerable and share my ideas and thoughts and struggles, rather than pretend everything's okay. But and also share what's working and what I'm feeling good about, and hopefully where I'm improving. So yeah, that's the idea. Anyway, Happy New Year from Mexico. Mexico 2026.